Dennis Miller Show. Tonight, Richard Grieco, David Spade, Dan Jenkins, Andy Summers, and the Soporifics. And now, it's him!
Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. Andy Summers and the Soporifics, ladies and gentlemen. Nicky Bakay, how are you, my friend? Watched the game yesterday?
Yeah, I did, Dennis. And you know, I'm going to tell you something. You think you know pain. But I grew up in Buffalo, New York. And it's not Washington. It's not a city filled with power and luxury. No, it's a proud little pug of a city. It's a corner tavern. What the hell are you looking at kind of a burg? And as I watched my team get humiliated, I hurt, mister. I hurt about as much as I thought a man could.
You okay now, though?
Well, I not really, no, because then I went on to watch Bud Light lose the Bud Bowl.
Oh. I tell you, I watched the game. It was tough picking Jim Kelly out on the sidelines. There was so many people around. It was like playing Where's Baldo? Okay. Thank you. The Baldo joke. They don't even bring Gatorade out the gym anymore. They bring minoxidil out. Well, Super Bowl Sunday is over, and Washington has a championship team. Too bad it's not in the White House. The president wants Congress to repeal the luxury tax on yachts, private aircraft, and furs. That's the kind of can-do economic policy this country's been waiting for, huh? Repealing the yacht tax? Does Bush have an inkling of a clue over there? In his new ads, Bush is featured standing in a group of working-class Americans. Of course, it was filmed in the unemployment office, but you get the picture. Did you watch Bush this week? Things have changed since Japan, haven't they, huh? He gives a speech now. It's like going to a Gallagher concert. Everybody in the front row is wearing a poncho. I'm teasing. I think he ran himself a little too hard. Christ, he was torn like Ted Nugent there for a while. Boris Yeltsin is going to meet the president at Camp David next week. They'll be discussing giving aid to the embattled republic, but Yeltsin doesn't think Russia can help us out right now. And Boris's popularity is fading fast in Moscow. His critics say he's incompetent, but Yeltsin says he's doing the best he can to keep the economy under control. He blames all the problems he's having in Russia on moose and squirrel. Thank you for vaguely approving of my existence. The quote-unquote Buy American movement is gaining popularity. Even Jimmy Swaggart is buying American. Now, from now on, he says he'll only pick up a hooker if she can answer the question, who's Babe Ruth? And it was a lot better in the reading. Arkansas governor and accused philanderer Bill Clinton. Did you see him? He unveiled his new campaign slogan last night. Gotta have it. Yeah, Clinton went from the cover of Time on Monday to the cover of The Star on Thursday. They don't have slides like that at Raging Waters. Okay? Governor, his wife faced a giant TV audience Sunday night. His wife, Hillary, told viewers, quote, We don't want to be handcuffed to rumors because the bondage of gossip might whip us into submission, and I don't want the media to be the dominatrix of my husband's career. And Clinton reiterated that all allegations of him being overly preoccupied with sex are falsies. And, you know, have you seen this woman who he supposedly had the affair with? Jennifer Flowers? I've seen Jennifer Flowers. She's no Marilyn Monroe, okay? That's Jennifer with a G, as in, gee, I've never done this before. Biosphere 2. This is the experimental complex in Arizona they've been accused of compromising their studies by letting the bionauts in and out, unbeknownst to us in the public. This place is the scientific study what Rusty Cali was to thatched huts. Okay, I've referenced myself into a corner. You know what Rusty Cali was? Okay. Just say he was the son on Make Room for Daddy. In New York City, the city that never sleeps, heroin addicts are now snorting heroin to avoid the health hazards of dirty needles. You know, you gotta hand it to that town. When it's time to pull together and beat a problem, these people are there. Yeah. You know. Hey, you don't hear Japan ragging on our heroin addicts because they know our junkies are up to speed over here. Some original Mozart, Beethoven, and Chopin manuscripts worth millions were lost in a fire in L.A. on Saturday. Thank God firemen were able to save Debbie Gibson's original Electric Youth. And Jagger's back, flexing his thespian muscle in Free Jack. I haven't seen a crossover that incredible since Leonard Nimoy covered Proud Mary. And finally, more celebrity news. Thing from the Addams Family has been called to testify as a character witness in the Jeffrey Dahmer case. And Dahmer's prosecuting attorney is using Dahmer's completed tax returns as proof that he was sane during his killing spree. Hope this strategy doesn't backfire when he gets down to that meal deduction line, huh? Says he's insane. Of course he's insane. What are we looking for? Red wine with fish? White slacks after November 1st? I know he's insane. He's so insane, I think we should hang him in a straitjacket. Hey, we got a great show for you. Richard Grieco, David Spade, Dan Jenkins, and Randy.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Bud Dry. Dry brewed so it drinks light yet satisfies completely.
You know, folks, every day the world becomes more of a global village, and hey, let's face it, we're having some problems getting along with Japan. So I thought it would help if we learned some useful Japanese phrases just to help us open up a dialogue, a tete-a-tete, as it were.
Hello. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
I am from the United States.
Koko yoku shiramase United States.
Can you take me to the train station? I am too lazy and incompetent to find it myself.
I'm afraid I'm lost in that bit, but it worked anyway. Sorry, I think I was supposed to do something, but should have stayed out of the way. I'm sure I was supposed to play an active role in that, but I got waylaid down at the pass. Governor, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I was telling you, my wife and I went out last night. We went to the movies. We saw Fresh Prince of Tides. And your father did what to you? Man, he's dissing you. Did a week of shows last week. All I hear this weekend is, why didn't I take Shannon Doherty's throat out when she chilled me on night 4, huh? Well, let me tell you this, folks. That brassy little lady is going to be around for a long time, and her and I will lock horns someday. As a matter of fact, Shannon, if you're out there, I'm challenging you to a cage match for the unified belt. You know, sure, you can hide out in Aaron Spelling's 2,800-foot spice rack, but the fact is, I'm calling you out, Barbie Benton Jr. Shannon, I was just excited to meet her. You know, it's National Snack Week. Tonight's spotlight snack is Bugles. An old friend. Hi, Bugles. Governor Bill Clinton was on 60 Minutes last night defending himself against charges of adultery. We seem to care a lot about the fidelity in our politicians, so we've made it the subject for tonight's For and Against. The case for fidelity. Without it, Western civilization will crumble. The case against, yeah, but probably not in my lifetime. Case for, a string of pointless encounters with a variety of anonymous sex partners is ultimately degrading and depressing. Against, no more than anything else. Case for, if you do cheat, she'll see it in your eyes. Case against, not if you're a pathological liar. 4, you have someone to spend the rest of your life with. Against, so do the criminals in the Phantom Zone. The case for, on Golden Pond. The case against, you forget your way back to the cabin and get mauled by wolverines. I read like Henry Fonda in that book. The case for, whales made for life. The case against, whales are the laughingstock of the ocean. The case for, behind every great man, there's a good woman. The case against, she's got 2 steaming hot friends who are real freakazoids. We'll be right back with actor Richard I was choking on a bugle and the crowd gang Heimlicked me. My first guest hit it big on TV with his starring roles in 21 Jump Street, Death, Grieco, and Booker. And then went on to films playing Bugsy Siegel. I don't want to call him Bugsy. What was his name? He hated to be called Bugsy. Benny Siegel in Mobsters. Please welcome Richard Grieco, folks. Grieco Suave. How you doing, man? You look like a biker. Did you come in on the bike tonight?
No, they got the helmet law now, so I haven't bought a helmet yet.
Yeah, it's tough to look cool. It's tough to get that Warren Beatty cool shampoo look when you're driving around like Adam Ant. You know, you got that.
I was thinking about having one with, like, maybe a helmet with, like, hair on it. You know? Like a helmet with, like, hair.
Yeah, I like that look. Now, you're a Harley man, right?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about bikes. I'm good friends with Leno. They go up there. It's like a bike museum. Why are Harleys the vogue now, man? Are they just the best?
I don't know. I've been riding them since I was like 14, you know, so, I've always loved Harleys, you know. To me it was a symbol of like freedom, but, out here, they seem to, because of the bureaucratic bull, they decided to do this helmet law thing, and To me, it's a crock of, you know. Sorry.
All right. A helmet can be a crock if you turn it upside down. You know, you should get some civil disobedience together here. You guys, I don't ride bikes, but you guys should just not do it. Isn't
Well, I haven't done it yet. I mean,
No?
I've got stopped.
And what happens when they pull you over?
They just stop. I mean, there's a 1 month kind of
Grace
thing,
period.
grace period, where they don't give you a ticket. I've got stopped quite a few times, and you know, these guys ride bikes, and you know, I mean, I'm not saying helmets aren't a thing to protect you, but for someone to tell me I have to wear it,
Yeah,
you know,
that puts
next
you off.
thing you know, they'll tell me, you know, what kind of coat I have to wear if it's
Right.
cold out.
Well, you know, I saw that video of Rodney King. I was going to start wearing a helmet when I drove a car. They beat that guy like they saw. It's like they saw a medfly on him, man. Jeez, they went to town. It was tough. Now, what's up? Did you see Bugsy? I know you just played Ben Siegel.
Benny, yeah.
Did he hate to be called Bugsy as a young man too?
Yeah, he hated it. He, I mean, it was a thing where I mean, Meyer Lansky and Benny Siegel were called the two bugs, you know, because they're such a nuisance.
Even his kids?
Yeah,
Yeah?
even his kids. And Benny just kind of kept that kind of stigma because he was, you know, still a nuisance, you know, and he had kind of no respect for the families or anything else, so he kind of kept that name, and he hated it with a passion.
Was he an insecure guy? I mean, just from the movie, when I watched him doing that screen test in Beatty's version of it, I just thought, God, this must have been the most insecure gangster in the history of the planet.
Yeah, he had his. I mean, I always felt he was insecure. That's why he had to do the whole, be out with all the women all the time,
Right.
and even the killing thing to him was kind of a thing to show him that he was a guy. You
Right.
know. But I mean, he always said he could be the best actor in Hollywood. You know, I mean, his best friend was George Raft at the time.
Right.
And
Who was a bad boy himself.
well, they started out together
Right.
as juvenile delinquents. You know. And yeah, but other than that, he was kind of a cool.
What'd you think of Beatty's version? Did you dig it?
Yeah, I actually liked Warren's version. You know, the film that we had out, Mobsters here, they cut the crap out of it. You know, so they didn't show a lot of the version that I brought to the screen. You
Was
know?
the director cool on that, or was he whacked? I read Premier Magazine, that issue about you guys, and he sounded, well, I don't know, I get you in trouble there, but he
No,
just
you
sounded,
won't get me in trouble.
he sounded like some of the quotes he had, it seemed like the inmates were running the asylum in that thing.
Well, Michael is actually. I mean, I liked him as a director. The film just kind of got out of his hands.
Yeah.
We made a 2-hour and 40-minute film, and the guy kind of got cut down to you know, to fit into some kind of time schedule.
Well, you know, when they put 4 guys like you in a film, they're going to take it over at some point and try
Yeah.
to make it into some poster project. You know, I mean...
Yeah.
Well, that happens. It's just,
You know,
it's a business out
Yeah,
here.
I
These
know,
guys
but,
get crazy.
But you try to. I mean, when we did this film, I mean, to us it was really an important film.
Right, you had a different
Yeah.
intention, but you know it's a business machine out
No,
here.
I know.
And
that.
at some point, they just want you 4 guys standing there with Tommy guns and lipstick on your cheek, you know. But I'm sure you had better intentions. And I know one thing you have good intentions about is you're very actively involved with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, aren't you?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good thing. Yeah. So great. Name?
Yeah,
Greek man's got a heart there. Well, I think you just fulfilled a few wishes.
I got involved with that because I was actually involved with the young kids when I was in college, you know, and I've just been involved with it ever since. I mean, to me, it's these kids. Some of these kids only have like a month left to live, you know,
Yeah.
and every day is so important, and they're in the moment, and man, we cry about, you know. I don't get my cable tonight or stuff like that, and it really puts things in perspective on what's really important, and I think that's, for me, how I've stayed pretty much sane in this business, you know.
Well, you know, people always come up to celebrities and they go, that's so nice of you to do that. And I often think, if you didn't do it, you'd be the biggest, any of us would be the biggest cretins in the world. I mean, we have such a, due to the weirdly inverted nature of our world, this is important to people, showbiz, but really it means nothing.
No.
And we have to be out there with those kids. If you don't, you just, your karma's so bad you should fall off the face of the planet. It's something we should do. Listen, Richard, I gotta keep it clipping along tonight. Let's have a nice hand. Sorry, Richard Grieco. Thanks for coming on, man. We'll be right back after this. Bye.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by New Ultra Dash. Cleans a mess for less.
You know, it's just not a bugle for me without Velveeta. Tuesday night, my guest will be James Woods. James Brown with Jimmy Woods, yeah. James Brown with Tierra. Who is Tierra? What is Tierra? Latin group. Jimmy Brown's doing the Latin thing now. Beautiful. And Brooke Shields is going to be here. And get down to cases with Brooke about that pretty baby Louis Mal thing. And my next guest is currently, oh, he's a friend of mine. Such a funny young man with a dream. He is got a bugle stuck in my throat here. Currently writing and performing for Saturday Night Live. Yeah. Rolling Stone recently hailed him as, quote, the hot stand-up to watch for in the 90s. He's a genuinely funny fellow. Please welcome David Spade!
All right. So let me tell you about myself. I'm one of 3 boys in my family. My parents got divorced when I was 5. So my dad just took off. You know, it was one of those divorces. He just took off one day, and then he'd show up once a year and give us each a Nerf football for Christmas. He thought he was a hero again. Ooh, thanks, Dad. Ooh, it's 2 colors. You spoil us, you bastard. Then he'd take us out for the weekend. That really wasn't his strong suit. You know, it's pretty much why he bolted in the first place. So, you know, he'd take us to dinner at some happy hour in a bar, you know, and I'm only 6 years old going, I don't like chicken wings, I feel sick. Well, you just put a little ranch on them, everything will be great. They're so spicy, Dad. Come on, it's almost 7, let's go. I got nothing. Then, took us to the state fair. State fair is a blast. All these little bookie games, all the coin toss. Best one is the one where you throw a quarter, try to make it land on a plate sprayed with Pam, like 50 yards away. It's just such a rip. You know, I found out later in college that it's physically impossible for it to land there because of the laws of the universe, you know, but that's not posted. So, of course, I'm out there with all my money. Oh, shoot, I almost had that one if it wasn't for gravity. Hey! I'd be really good at this game if it was on Neptune. Inertia kept me from a stuffed frog. So I got that going for me. I went back. The family's a little different now. I went back for Christmas to see my parents. My mom gained a little weight, you know, 'cause she quit smoking. That's totally normal, and I don't even care, but it's just hard to hear your mom tell you the reasoning, you know. It's hard to have your mom tell you she always has to have something in her mouth because she has an addiction. I'm like, ugh, Mom, don't. You know, my stepdad's in the kitchen winking at me. Mom, keep smoking. You stay away, you sicko. So I'm out here in Los Angeles now. Everyone's got a limousine. That's what bugs me. Everyone's got a limo. I think they're so cool. They got their window cracked a little bit. I think they're so badass. Every time I see a limo, I go, ooh, you have $80. You're cool. I tell you guys, when you're driving around, don't ever let a pretty girl merge in front of you on the street. Because if you do, they rarely pull over and screw you for it later. Rarely! Listen up! I know what I'm talking about. They are working it. Ladies, don't ever and don't even, because I know your game. The jig is up. The news is out. They finally found me, the renegade little sticks fight. No, the jig is so up. And guys, don't fall for it. I know it's tough because they're all cute. They got their hair whipped up into a little fountain. Can I go? Can I get in there? Can I see? If I could no, you can't, all right, sweetheart? She tried to sucker in the Vega behind me. He looks weak, all right? There's no payoff. They're working you. Don't let them. But I really like you. Really? Yeah, I almost forgot about this merch thing. I feel some magic between me. Really? Yeah. All right, go ahead. Chick later. Hey, you happens 5 times a day. It even happens to me the next day. It's the same chick, but she's got her hair different. It's like over here now. I'm like, go ahead. Girls with scrunchies are evil. Look out. I swear to God, they got that ruffled scrunchie around the wrist, put their hair up with... You never know when it's going up, either. What's going on? What's happening? You know, maybe later on we can... Don't let them. They're working the scrunchie. It's here. There's no rules, no wrong way to do it. They put one right in the middle. They don't care as long as it's up, baby. Look out. Either that or the chip clip off the ruffles into the hair. Either way, you lose. So I had another fiasco yesterday. I had a bug come in my house. Totally scared of bugs. I'm kind of a puss, right? So I'm at home and I'm like reading Us magazine at my desk, mostly looking at the pictures, you know. And out of my periph, I see this bug like squanking across the carpet, just I was like, no way. I'm freaked out, you know. I'm so scared. He's looking at me like, what are you doing here? I'm like, what are you doing here? You know, it's my path. And he's like so scary looking, some mutant 8-legged silverfish meets stink bug. I didn't even know what it was, so I was freaking out. So I'm over going, no way. So I haul ass in the kitchen and get the raid. When I come back, he's gone. I'm like, no way, like I could ever go to bed, you know? So I come back and I look on the tile floor, and he's trying to blend in where the cracks meet. He's like... I'm like, that is so you, and you were so busted, you know? So he's like, I don't know what if it's in for sure, so I blow on him. And he flinches a little bit, you know? Once he moved a little bit, he knew he had to commit, so he starts hauling ass for a little crack in the baseboard. Just, I'm like, go for it, buddy. I took that raid and just wailed on him. And then he goes in that bug twitch, click, 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 click. And he starts freaking out. He's running the wrong way. He's freaking out. Totally committed. He doesn't know what he's doing. And I'm like, wrong way, Feldman. I just wailed him again. He's looking at me like, okay, I'm dead, all right? You don't have to blow the whole bottle on me, friend. I'm like, hey, it's not a bottle, it's a can. He's like I can see anything through this fog blast. And he went click, click, and died, and I flicked him through the TV antenna for 3. Don't let him. Thank you very much. That's it. Good night.
You got the funniest references, man. You know, I'm a reference guy. I like my references.
You like Wrong Way, Feldman?
You got a deep drawer there, brother. You pull out some weird ones. Now, why'd you come out of the box so reticent there, man? The rest of it, you were really kicking at the end. Were you a little nervous up front?
I got a little freaked, man.
Why? You're so funny, man. You're a killer. You're a monster.
Curtain threw me a little bit. Too much going on there. And...
Yeah, that's a little... It's like Fritz Lang's underwear or something.
I don't know what's happening there. That's just like...
You gonna stick around? Can we chat a little, get inside your head, maybe
buddy.
make you cry like Barbara Walters?
Me and you, buddy. Like the old
Spade,
days.
we'll be right back with Spade after this commercial. David Spade. How's things going back in the bunker that is Saturday Night Live? You getting your fair share back there? I know it's like gladiator school getting on there, man.
I know, it's tough. Not on that much this year, but I am signed up. I mean, I do have it. It's in print, but it's, you don't see me a lot. It's hard, because when you're, like, in a mall, it's embarrassing for people to go, hey, isn't that the guy that's contractually on Saturday Night Live? Like the highest paid extra in New York. But,
Yeah.
you know, they got to rotate.
You hate a little kid coming up to you at the mall and using terms like force majeure. You know, you want more out of your celebrity than that. Who are your favorite guests? Force majeure?
I didn't even know that.
Forget
Don't
it.
worry.
I'm sorry. Now, Rolling Stone said you were the hot comedy. You ever think you'd see the day when Rolling Stone magazine's doing who's hot, who's not list? You think Jan Winters at too many barbecues in Montauk? But what's happened out of that? Has that helped you a lot? Is that a good
Yeah,
kudo there? They only pick one guy each year, right?
Yeah,
For
no,
the-
that was cool. I mean, I got lucky there. It's just, you know, it all helps, doing the show and...
Who's your favorite guest host over there this year?
Christian Slater was pretty cool. Greetings, salutations, right? No, he was cool. Michael J. Fox is fun, because I had done him on the show. And
You do a great Fox.
I met him, and he was like, hey, so you're the guy that does me, right? I go, yeah. So, yeah, it'll be cool. We can do something where I play you and you play Sean Penn. And he's like, hey, wait a minute. I said I knew it. I didn't say I liked it. He goes, you know, I don't even sound like that. I was going, no, I know.
Throw me a Mallory.
Ah, Christ, Mallory?
Mallory?
You know, I know Grieco. It's my buddy.
Yeah, you and Greek used to
Grieco
work
and I,
together,
is he
man.
big
Would
enough?
you do a faxatootie or something? What was that called?
I need more bulk in my diet. He is big. You see those guns? No, we did a...
You whip around a little moped. You're in a white leather gang, right? Yeah.
we did a Facts of Life about a couple years ago, like a pilot, and
Was it? Who was the highlight person? Tootie? Is that
Natalie.
the Tootie? Natalie. Okay. Sure.
but it was me, Grieco, Natalie, and then like we're on the show, and he's going, you know, I hope this really helps me, and I'm like, yeah, good-looking guy in Hollywood, that's hard to find. Good luck, pal. Cut to a year later, he's got his own show. I'm up at Chumley's Comedy Wigwam. How you doing, folks? I know Booker.
Hey, now you got a place to come all the time here, and you know what? I want to show you something. If you come back here a lot, we've instituted a frequent guest program for people who are on the show out in Nick Bakay. Colleen, tell us about it.
It's the Wheel of Frequent Guest Prizes. Every appearance on the show will earn you 250 points, accrue 1,000 points, and you can choose from an array of fabulous prizes. Will it be the Fry Daddy, the Cadillac of high-temperature lard vats, or the Tea Strainer, puts the kibosh on the heartbreak of loose leaves, or the Dennis Miller Earthquake Kit? Everything you need to survive one of God's more curious foibles. Evian water, an electric blanket, and a video cassette of the Towering Inferno. At 2,000 points, maybe you're tired of being third out of the green room, a novelty guest. Want to move on up and bump Streisand tally 2,000 points and you get a free segment upgrade. And with a total of 2,500 points, you'll receive our grand prize, the trip to Catalina. Yes! You will be traveling by yourself, one way to Catalina Island, where you'll dine in solitary splendor at Luau Larry's, where the bar meets the bay. So do come back and join us.
Yeah.
Back to you, Dennis.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny, Andy Summers doesn't count, does he?
No, but Colleen doing that funky
Working
sort of...
it.
Blame it on the bossa nova. What would you pick now, Spudley? What would your big...
I thought I saw Ganip, but I don't think it's...
No.
I would take the track ball.
What is the track? I don't even know what
With
that
the
one
ball
is.
with the things you go zzz, and like, you know the... Okay, the Quake Kit then.
Okay. Host had nothing, Spade bailed him out.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Davey. You're a
Thanks,
lovely
buddy.
woman. We'll be right back after this. Yeah. thank you. You know, I was out and about in the City of Angels last night, and I saw Jinky the fruit bat drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's. His hair was perfect. You know, from the gridiron to the fairway, my next guest offers a vitriolic view of sportswriter's venue, author of such hits as Semi-Tough. Is it semi? He'll tell me. Baja, Oklahoma. Is it Baja? Beja? And you got to play hurt. It's hurt. Dan Jenkins, folks. Dan Jenkins. Now, tell me, is it semi or semi? I never even knew.
Show's over, Dennis. The writer's here. It's
semi.
semi.
Don't worry.
Semi.
Yeah, Semi-Tough. I love that book. Amazing. You know what? I read that at the same time as I read Gent's book, North Dallas Sporting.
Yeah, good
Both
friend of
great
mine.
books about football. Kind of debunked the thing, though. Do you feel like you guys are the Jim Boutons of football?
No, I was, backstage with where sports is real.
Yeah.
And I've been back there all my life. Press boxes, locker rooms, all that stuff. Which, by the way, nobody likes to be in, even men. They laugh about women going in locker rooms. Men don't want to be in there. I've never been in a locker room in my life that didn't smell like Baghdad or something. Nobody goes in there by choice. You're going because you have to.
I know. I don't know why women sports writers want to go in.
They have to. They don't want to.
Yeah.
They have to. You know.
Yeah, I think they'll make their greatest strides when they realize there are some things they shouldn't want to be involved in. You know, one of them, the male locker room. What a grim place. But
Did you get a good nap during the Super Bowl?
Oh man, brutal game. Why is it brutal? Why is the AFC lost 9 out of the last 10? What's
I don't know.
the
There've
deal?
been 26 Super Bowls and a total of 5 good ones, and that was not one of the good ones yesterday. I have a theory that it's there's that 2-week period. One team always loses an edge, and even when San Francisco won 4 of them, 2 of them, Cincinnati lost an edge. They didn't play well. I've covered about 15 of them, and
Now, how do you avoid the other 11 as a sports writer? I can't believe you've only been to 15. What?
Well, I watched a lot of them on television.
Well, as long as you're there, getting your teeth down on the bone of the story.
All Super Bowls should be in New Orleans or Miami
That's what they say.
for sports writers because it's a terrible game, and you can drink later in those towns.
Minneapolis, man. You get that frozen daiquiri up in Minneapolis, even if you don't order it frozen.
I knew this was going to be a bad game because there were no good pregame quotes from any of the players. The highlight of the whole pregame week was Bruce Clark said he wanted to be traded. Then the game started, and everybody from Buffalo looked like they wanted to be traded.
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith.
Bruce
Excuse me.
Clark,
Bruce
former
Clark
Penn
was
State interior
former-
lineman, moved
That's
on to
right.
the New Orleans Saints.
That's right.
Just showing off a little. Now, what you really led that sports writer's life hard, didn't you? When you were back in New York, you guys
I
hang
did
out in
what
the lanes, PJ Clark's, that whole thing.
On the expense account, yeah.
Yeah?
We hit it hard. It's part of the deal.
That's where you got all the stuff for Semi-Tough, I would suppose. You
well,
sort of
but-
led that lifestyle. for a
See, I
long
always
time.
liked athletes who would hang out with you. You know, you can't get a quote from a guy in the locker room. You got to take him to a saloon and let him relax, and you got to know what not to write. If I wrote everything I knew about every athlete I'd ever hung out with, I wouldn't have won any Pulitzers, but I would have caused a lot of divorces.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't worth it.
Well, you know, our society encourages these guys to just be rampant out there, doesn't it? They're like Greek gods, athletes. Do you think it's right, or do you think they should be notched back?
They don't play by my rules anymore.
No,
Can I tell you my favorite pro football moment?
I insist.
I hope not. Many years ago, I'm covering a Dallas Cowboy-Washington Redskin game in D.C. Night before the game, we're in Georgetown at a party,
Yeah.
brimming over with steward-eye, as they say.
So is it Teddy Kennedy's?
And lo and behold, 2 of the guys that were there, and they don't mind me saying this, were Sonny Jurgensen and Don Meredith. And we all saw daylight, and about 6 hours later, Sonny threw 5 touchdown passes, and Meredith threw 4, and I got a story written. Those are guys who could play by my rules.
Yeah, they could just do it.
The real heroes.
Yeah, well, Sonny, man, he could throw it, couldn't he?
And
He's
he
kind
could
of a long
he could
lost
lift
quarter.
it.
Yeah, that's where he got the arm. Now, what's the new book about? You got to play hard. Is it
It's,
somewhat autobiographical? Sounds
somewhat.
like it's about that.
Yeah, it's a year in the life of a sports writer who gets into a lot of trouble. And it's another romantic comedy, and he goes to all the big sports events and trashes them.
Yeah. You covered golf for a long time. That's my favorite sport. I mean, I just like the rhythms of golf. I'm a horrible golfer. I mean, really, I should not be let out there. I golf like the robot from Lost in Space. But I do love watching it. I find it so relaxing. And I got to ask you, you saw Hogan play early on, didn't you?
Indeed.
Was he the best, you think?
As far as I'm concerned, he was. But of course, we're both from Fort Worth, Texas originally. So I covered everything he ever won. Thank you. Yeah, he was the best shot maker. Jack Nicklaus was the best winner, but Ben was the best shot maker.
You know, he has that little book called The Fundamentals of Golf, and even I read it. It's like a little elements of style. You know, it's like the elements of style of golf.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I read that. I always shoot 110. I read it, and I shot a 95. So even he could impart that on me in that short...
Let me give you some advice. The way to really enjoy golf is don't keep score.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Don't keep score and hit a lot of mulligans.
Yeah.
And play from the white tees.
Jerry Mulligan, the alto sax player?
Not him. Cool jazz.
You know why men love golf so much? They get to play. They get to keep their own score. You know, when a guy goes into the woods, and you hear it's like a cyclotron in there. You hear the ball bouncing off trees so much, and you know a man's lying when he comes out and he does that finger count. What are you shooting? Okay, 1. You know you're getting screwed right there, because everybody knows what they're hitting.
Well, you got to take. See, the reason a lot of guys play golf is they get to stay out of the house. They want to play 6-7 hour rounds. Then they don't have to go to the shopping mall or go home and paint the baseboards.
Yeah, well, it's jam now. You can't help but play a 6 or 7 hour round. Now, your daughter's doing great. She took over your reins at SI, didn't she?
She's got my old job. She's good. She's a lot better than I was at her age. And she and I both agree that she's the best writer in the family.
Yeah. What do you think of the trend in sports writing towards these guys becoming like Junior League Scotty Restons? I used to dig it when people wrote sports, and now everybody, Dave Kindred, all those cats, they seem to want to do these massive exposés. And do you agree with that, or did you like it when it was
No, I don't
simpler?
agree with it, but that's the fault of the sports editor. You know, the editor wants to go out and, Woodward and Bernstein changed everything.
Yeah.
So everybody wants an exposé, but I always believed in protecting your sources. And like I said, if I wrote everything I knew about everybody, they'd all be divorced, and I'd probably be out of a job.
And you won't tell anybody about earlier today, me and you,
I use it
before
in
the
fiction.
show. Okay. Thanks for coming on, Dan.
Thanks,
I appreciate it. Dan Jenkins, folks.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Drixoral, the 12-hour prescription strength cold medicine. Drixoral.
You hear me, Shannon Doherty? I want you. You're going down. Sorry. Hey, I wanted to tell everybody that we still have our voicemail line. What's the number on that? Nikki, do you know the number on the voicemail line? Anybody? Okay, I'm an idiot. Well, we have this voicemail thing you can call in, and, oh, there it is. 213-871-8198. Please call. We love to get out. We love to get the grassroots thing, touch the people, feel their thoughts, you know. So call us, but some of the calls from the New England area are really shaky, and you're scaring the hell out of me. So take it easy up there, people. I'm getting a little freaked out. I'm going to become an agoraphobic. For those of you who want to get a head start on tomorrow's monologue, here's our suggested reading. You might read T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland and watch an episode of Ren and Stimpy. I got to wrap it up. I'd like to thank my guests, Richard Grieco, David Spade, and Dan Jenkins. Good night, teenagers.